is going on, guys? So if you guys remember a few months ago, back in December, I was trying to diagnose a leak in the Mazda 3's trunk. Now I am finally glad to say, after about 4 to 5 months of diagnosing that, I have finally figured it out and the problem has been solved. So today what we're going to be doing is taking a look in the Mazda 3's trunk. We're going to be putting it back together. I'm going to be telling you what the issue was and how to fix it, and also I got a Q&A that I have going on my Instagram right now where I was telling you guys I'm gonna answer a few questions. So we're gonna be doing that Q&A pretty quick here. It's super windy outside right now, so I gotta roll the Mazda 3's back end into the garage so I'm not interfering with the wind because it's hella. Of course, you know, it's, you know, I get fired, I get laid off, and it just, the weather just decides to rain, be sunny, and then wind at the same time, so I don't really know what's going on. But an informational video for you guys, and I'm finally happy to have this done because I can finally put the trunk back together, and then we're gonna fix some rust up, fix the taillight wiring before I put everything back together. She'll be super mint and back to how she used to be. So let's go ahead, bring the car in here, and then we'll get on to that Q&A. Okay, so I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions because I'm going to do a Q&A in today's video. We're going to make this short and sweet. I'm going to answer a few questions. If I don't answer your question, I apologize. Just don't want to be standing here too long doing this. What's your opinion on Gen 2 Speed 3 compared to the Gen 1 after owning both? I've yet to make a video on this. I have a very strong opinion on the Gen 1. That is why I ended up by getting a Gen 1, even though I said I wasn't going to get a Speed at that time. Gen 2 just feels like a modern day car that's somewhat fast, but when you're driving a Gen 1 Mazda Speed, it really feels like you're driving something meant to do what it's supposed to do. Here's a really good question. How would you compare your ride experience between the base Mazda 3 and the Speed 3? I have the same fun with both cars. Now, if you guys watched the last video, you guys would know I actually just lowered the Mazda 3 on suspension. Now before that I was kind of like it was just a daily car to me, and I felt really bad, like it was kind of neglected. Now the Mazda 3 is such a more nice, comfortable daily. Like you can do the same things that you do to the Speed 3. Suspension wise, obviously you can't do power, but just the way the car reacts, it just makes it such a nice daily driver compared to the Speed 3. I dailied the Speed 3 for I think it was like a month after doing all the mods to it. I hopped back into the Mazda 3, I booted down the road, and I'm like, oh man, I miss this car so much. It's so comfortable to drive. Don't get me wrong, the Speed 3 is fantastic and I love it for what it does, but for me to daily drive something, I love the Mazda 3 for it. It's fantastic. What's your goal for videos in the future? I really don't have a goal. Say it comes to the time where my channel grows really, really big. One thing with the videos that I like to keep is the interactiveness that I pursue. So going through comments, keeping my Instagram DM replies up and stuff like that. I love interacting with you guys, and that's one of the big things. I just want to meet you guys in person. That'd be awesome for videos, holding meets and stuff like that in the States whenever I travel there and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool to do. A day in the life of Colton. Now, since I got laid off, basically when I worked, a day in the life would be waking up, basically having no time to do anything, go to work, eat, come home, work out, edit a video, read the comments, and then go to bed, play video games. But now that I'm off work, it's kind of changed. So I feel like being in this quarantine kind of zone right now, it's let me be kind of fix myself. I've been eating breakfast and stuff like that. It feels great. Able to take the time to, interact with you guys a bit more and also kind of spend more time on videos, considering I have, basically however long this is gonna be off. So what got you into building Mazda? Why do you choose Mazda over Subaru and other companies? When I got the Mazda 3, it was my first car. I got in really in depth with it. I kind of learned its platform, and then I realized I liked the Mazda Speed. Got a Mazda Speed, and then things just kept going on, and at that time I really just wanted to focus on making, really nice Mazdas. Now, this doesn't stop me from getting something else in the future, because definitely next year I do want to get rid of one of these cars and and just kind of move into something else, possibly Subaru. I really don't know. Like, I enjoy other cars, and trust me, when I go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, I'm always thinking about, hey, that would be a really cool car to own. At this time, why I just have Mazdas is because I know the car. They're very easy to work on, and I know you guys love it when, you know, I bring out new content that you guys don't know how to do specifically. So that's why I have them right now. I'd like to move on in the future to kind of just help grow as a community, and not just have one specific sort of brand going on here. How much toilet paper do you hoard? Anyways, that's all the questions for today. Let's go ahead and talk about the Mazda 3's trunk, how I fixed it, and let's go ahead and put it back together. Okay, so when we were last diagnosing it, I was kind of thinking of some spots that it could have leaked. Up here at the very top, there was a suspicious spots. Those vouched as a no. I was following some dust marks that went down here. Apologize if this is dark, I'm trying my best. There's some dust marks that went from here, down the middle here as well, on the other side, and some other drips that I found. So when I first found this trunk that it had a leak, this was an aquarium and there was water everywhere, and the mat that was sitting on top was a little moldy, and I found this out in December when it was raining quite hard. So recently, because I had nothing else better to do, I did a leak test. Now, if you guys want to know how to do a leak test and what I did, apologize by this white exposure. Basically run a hose, an open-headed hose on top of here. At about halfway through, the water will spill down here, and you can do each side. So I started with the middle. Once I was on the middle, I went to this side, and then I went to this side, and that's where I found my leak. I found the leak coming from the seal, which was a suspicion. What it was doing was it was getting under here, basically going up and around underneath the seal and leaking straight down into here, and there was quite a flow of it when I was going down the middle. So that was the main leak. And now the only other leaks that I found were little driplets from these little pins, these taillight pins right here. So this trunk seal was freshly replaced. Basically, when you get a new trunk seal, there's glue underneath, and that glue basically holds anything from that goes underneath, and it pushes it back out. So the glue that was under here from my old trunk seal basically just nuked itself and didn't exist anymore. So when you get a new seal, it's all filled with new glue. I got it done by one of my apprentices at work, so thank you very much. And he put this on, and we are good to go, no more leaks. As for these pins, I'm gonna run a silicone around them. I might take these taillights too, just to see if I need to, or if I can seal it a different way. But I think my best bet is to run silicone around these. Another leak too that is common are these seals always go. So I would suggest, even if you don't have silicone on these or anything protecting them, run silicone all the way around them and then do it on the inside as well, and that will stop that leak. So now that we're basically done with this whole leak thing, the trunk is ready to go back together. So let me just silicone these two pins up or figure something out. I'm gonna rewire my taillights because I got a little bit of aftermarket stuff going on in there, including some resistors. And once we're done that, we're gonna put all the trunk back together. Also with this right here, so as you guys can see, it rested a bit. I'm gonna be wire wheeling all this surface rust, and then once I'm done that, I'm gonna be spraying it. I have like a gray filler primer, so it should match up okay with this gray that's in here, and shouldn't be too off. If it is, it's not a big deal, it's covered anyway, but it just covers it from any you know, condensation that might come up from the grommets that are sitting in here. So let's go ahead and get started with our little project today called trunk leak. So I just did my first example of my new wiring. So I took the taillight out, and I'm doing some taillight stuff now. If you guys remember when I did LED turn signals, I needed to use resistors, and also when I did the aftermarket taillights, I need to extend the wiring. This is what it used to look like over here. Super bunk. Like you guys can just see, exposed wires, not good connections. This is what we've upgraded to. So upgraded connections, secure connections that won't rip off like I ripped the old ones off, shrink wrap. So I'm very excited with how this looks. I'm gonna go ahead and remount this resistor so it looks a little bit cleaner, and then this side will be done. I'm gonna work on the other side, and my trunk wiring will be a masterpiece. Now, as I was about to put the taillight together, I was looking at that pin and where it went. Now, it's actually a screw holder for the bumper. Now, when I took this apart, it was really dirty. and I can see there's definitely a way that water can get in beneath that. So I'm gonna put a little thin line of silicone under that, and then a little thin line of silicone inside as well, and that should fix the pin problem. So I have silicone the inside there, and on the other side did the outside as well. Still have to do the outside on this side, so I'm gonna let all the silicone dry, and then we'll be back to putting the taillights together, and then back to putting the whole trunk together. Alright, so everything in the trunk is all pretty much back together except the inside. I'm just talking about the wiring. I wire wheeled the bottom of it, and it's dry, so it's ready to go. All the silicone is dry, so that's ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead, put the taillights back in, and then once we're done that, we're gonna start working on putting the trunk back together. I have no idea where any of my pins are, so YOLO, but chillin', right? Good lord. So that lays down. I need the spare tire. Fun fact, I don't think this thing's ever been used. Our little screw. Nice, nice. This one's got a massive gaping hole in it when I ran adjustable BC coils. Last step is this big boy. Bring her in, and I think didn't I break one of these clips? So, alright, now that that's done, I want to make sure the trunk closes, but I'm going to yeet my carpet in there. And my friends, she is a Mazda 3 again. Yo. Wow. You guys don't get the excitement, but I haven't seen this trunk like this in ages, dude. It's been since last year. This makes it feel so good. I'm gonna take a breather, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the sub back into position, and then she's gonna be mint. Oh, so I mounted the amp to the back of the sub, and now I am going to hook the sub against the trunk brace, and then we should be quite mint, because this is quite mint. Can't wait to use this trunk again on road trips. It's gonna be hella, dude. So it's all done. Everything about it has been complete. Carpet, sides, this piece right here, it's all good. Sub is back where it's supposed to be, and this thing's mint. So everything that would leak has now been sealed. This trunk should never leak again until said seal goes again, or anything else decides to leak. But she's mint, and I'm so happy finally have this back to normal. You guys have no idea. So now that this is done, let's send this out of the garage. She's just like low, and she's loving it, and I love it too. Ah, beauty. Beautiful little doll. And guys, that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, turn on post notifications, and leave a comment if you guys have any questions. Just thought I'd show you guys, you know, what's going on, and how we fixed it. Now that the trunk's not leaking anymore, I hope you guys can do the same for your Mazda 3 sedans, because it seems like the hatches don't do it, at least in my experience. Keep it real. I'll see y'all in the next one.